cool new Xbox update just dropped. And you know what? These things are really cool. I like the fact that a lot of these things are dropping. And listen, why not, right? Microsoft is obviously in it to kind of stick around for a while in terms of, hardware and software and all that kind of stuff. So, it is nice to see that Microsoft is kind of serious about that. And I like it when they do the updates. Of course, they're going to do updates for, PC. They're going to do updates for cloud. They're going to do all that kind of stuff. But, they're still doing and kicking around some Xbox updates and things. And that's, nice to see, whatever the case may be. It's funny to me because despite the push of, hey, we're cloud, we're PC, the place that sees the most action for them is their console still. So it's like they were in such a rush to like kind of get rid of that or act like it doesn't matter or something along those lines that it really didn't make much sense because, that's where most of their Game Pass subscribers are. That's where, the most of their players are. So, again, it's just one of those things where I think their line of thinking was a little bit flawed. But hey, what are you going to do? At the end of the day, Microsoft is going to Microsoft, and whether or not that's going to be something that, people kind of accept or not, I guess that's on each individual. But, the updates are there, the updates are coming, and that's good news for players. At least it shows they're kind of invested in what they got. I think, to be honest with you, the backlash would be so bad for Microsoft if they decided to kind of get rid of the console, that they might as well just get completely out of the business, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, people wouldn't trust them. I mean, people already don't trust Microsoft, and so when you see that, it's just one of those things where it's quite honestly kind of interesting to see how people kind of react to what Microsoft is trying to do or whatever the case may be. So again, I find this to be very interesting. I'm sure you guys want to get in on this. What's up, everybody? I'm the Crap Gamer, and this is Crap Gamer Reviews, back with another video. Thank you guys so much for watching it. I appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate that as well. Helps out the channel, and it means a lot to me personally. If you guys are interested in video game content, daily content, look no further. I'm that guy. I do daily video game content. I try to be fun yet informative. So yeah, if that's what your deal is, look no further, man. I have a good time doing it. So all I ask in return is a like. The Xbox August 2025 update has just been highlighted by the folks at Team Xbox, and it's packed with what they're calling some exciting improvements across devices, including a few that we already knew about. For example, they're mentioning the cross-device play history and Xbox PC My Apps features that have been in testing for a little while now, but they're also listing some new things like controller support in the PC app. So here's like some interesting little significant things that they're kind of talking about in general. Very intriguing update and another move towards unifying its gaming experience. Rolling out now is for everybody play history tab being introduced on console and PC that makes it easier to browse your recently played games, whatever device they've been played on. It looks as though the feature will work as an extension to the row of titles at the bottom of the current Xbox dashboard. Alongside these titles will soon sit a play history area that shows more of your recently played games, with even PC and cloud gaming titles being displayed. Again, I'll link this so you guys can check it out. Quote unquote, whether you're on console, PC, or Windows handheld, you can find your play history at the end of the Jump Back In list on the home screen. While the large tiles highlight games you've recently played on your current device, the Play History title shows games you've played across any Xbox device, making it easy to pick up right where you left off. With these updates, Xbox is making it even easier for you to jump into your favorite game wherever you are, whenever you want. So again, Microsoft's sticking pretty much to the tagline there, which is, I guess, pretty much on brand for them. I mean, what are you going to expect? They're going to try to push this whole thing, and they have to basically at this point. It's just one of those things that they've kind of got to do. Even with that being said, there are a ton of interesting things, kind of to talk about. And again, I guess it really kind of comes down to what you guys are really interested in and what you really kind of want to play. It's an interesting update, especially in the context of Xbox becoming a wider gaming brand than just a console. They mentioned the Windows handheld or whatever. I don't really look at that as an Xbox. I'm sorry. And I'll never look at a PC as an Xbox either. But they are going to be trying to unify that as much as possible, which, I mean, I guess it makes sense. But I find that to be very kind of confusing Cross-device and cloud playable play history. Your play history will now sync across devices, showing up on console and an Xbox PC app. So whether you're switching screens from one room to the next, or picking up where you left off at a friend's house, you'll recently played list games are right where you can jump back in. You'll also start seeing cloud playable games show up in your history. That means every cloud enabled title, from original Xbox classes to Xbox Series X and S exclusives, is now in one place, whether you own it or play it through Xbox Game Pass. It's a simpler, more connected way to find and get into cloud gaming. Looks like they're doing something with the Xbox PC stuff. Like, I'll link that stuff. Like, to me, it doesn't really, the PC stuff I couldn't care less about, or whatever the other thing is. But, you know, again, at the end of the day, I think it's awesome that they're continuing to update this and making it so that all your history shows up. I think that's really cool. Listen, I know that a lot of people are going to, you know, be like, oh, whatever, like, and I get it, you know, people like what they like. I have nothing against PC gamers, nothing against, you know, the people that like that stuff, or, you know, whatever the case may be. I just feel like at the end of the day, you know, Microsoft should maybe, I would just appreciate it if they focus a little bit more on the console itself, because I feel like that's kind of getting lost in the shuffle, and that's never a good thing. You know, us as fans are kind of, you know, we're kind of left out in the cold at some certain points, you know, and it's weird because, you know, at the end of the day, you know, we see that we invested a bunch of money in these things, and we continue to play, you know, and we continue to pay for, like, Game Pass, we pay for online, we, you know, we pay for all this stuff, and it's just kind of funny to me because they kind of treat us sometimes a little bit badly or poorly in terms of getting fair treatment and things like that. So, but you know, I find this to be pretty cool. I like the fact that they've kind of done this. I think that they've managed to kind of pull off some really cool stuff. And like, it continues to kind of listen to the fans, which I guess is like a very important thing kind of going forward. Just as we see, you know, Microsoft, you know, do all the cool things that, you know, that we want as fans, you know, and it's like increasing the amount of features and things is always like a welcome thing in terms of what you can do. And, you know, that's really cool. So bravo to Microsoft for that. I really do think that that's, you know, one of those things that kind of, in terms of what we want, you know, it's nice that they've actually kind of listened and they kind of pay attention to that. And, you know, bravo, like I said, you know, they, like, Microsoft gets a lot of hate, I'm sure, but, you know, they also get a lot of, you know, praise when it's deserved. So, you know, do they deserve this right now? Hey, who knows? But again, being able to kind of constantly kind of go out there and update what they're doing, I think is really, really cool, and I think that it's smart that they actually kind of go out there and do that. So, you know, I know a lot of you guys like these new features. What kind of new features would you like to see on Xbox? You know, like I said, it's strange. I think it's different from everybody, but, you know, personally, I would love to see, you know, improvements with, like, the ability to kind of edit your clips and all that kind of stuff. I think we're kind of missing that, and that's kind of a real shame. You know, because like the Xbox One had all these great features and people literally hated that thing, and so it's a little bit strange to me the way that this has happened. But, you know, like I said, I would love to see even more updates, even more fan feedback and that kind of stuff, just because, you know, it's a really smart thing for them to do at the end of the day, to kind of offer things that, you know, gamers want. And, you know, I love the fact that, you know, they continue to kind of do that and break the mold a little bit. So, you know, again, we're getting these updates quite regularly now, interesting things, little bits and pieces of things that we basically can really get into, and that maybe we've wanted for a while now. So I like that, you know, and I'm sure a lot of you do as well. Let me know what you're looking forward to the most, what you like in this update, and at the end, you know, at the end of the line, I think Microsoft is kind of paying attention and making sure that, you know, gamers have the things that they need and the things that they want. So, you know, the games finally came. It's cool to see that that's happened. Now we're starting to kind of see some of the features catch up and whatnot. I always say, you know, when a new platform launches, a new console, it should have all the old previous consoles features and then some, right? So it's like, so you feel good about upgrading and it gives you reasons. So it's not just about the games, but you know, I think the features are super important too. And the fact that we're, you know, in my opinion, we have less features on our console now than when the Xbox One launched is kind of telling, but at least they're going through some of this and kind of changing that and making it a much better kind of situation for everybody across the board. I'm going to link this in the description. Check it out. Like, share, subscribe. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, Crap Gamer 'em up. I'll catch you guys next time. Crap Gamer out.